everyone, my name is Nelson, I'm the Living Card Gamer, and today we are taking a look at the second hero that I played through of the new Sinister Motives campaign, Miles Morales, Spider-Man. So first off, thanks for hanging out, thanks for clicking on the video. If you could like this video and subscribe, it goes a huge way in helping support this channel. And if you want to catch these videos that I continually talk about live, you can follow me on Twitch. That link is in the description below. Alrighty, so yeah, we just played through 4 different games with Miles. So all in one day, that was a big day. It was a very fun stream. We played 2 games with Gwen and 4 games with Miles all in one stream. I am so tired, but it was awesome. I could not have been happier with these 2 heroes. They are both really unique and really fun and bring new archetypes to the game. Miles is a hero that has the Web Warrior trait as well as the Champion trait. He has a 222 stat line and 9 hit points, which is a little low, but he likes to be an alter ego, so it's kind of okay. Also in alter ego, he has 4 recovery, and he has a pretty cool ability that says whenever you flip to alter ego, you get to shuffle a Spider-Man card into your deck. Because he's flipping a lot, that does really help. One of the unique things about Miles is that he actually has 2 special abilities on his hero's side that can each be activated via different cards in his kit. He has the first ability, which is called Venom Blast. It says deal 2 damage to an enemy and stun that enemy. And then his second one is Spider Camouflage that says give Spider-Man a tough status card and then confuse an enemy. So he has access to stun and confuse right there on his hero card, which makes him a really great solo character. He does like to flip into alter ego, which allows him to use 2 of his signature supports. He has Jefferson Davis. So this is a support that says remove, it's an alter ego action, and remove a threat from the scheme with the least amount of threat. And then he has Genki Lee, who is a action that says you draw a card, and then if you are in hero form, you have to discard a card from your hand. So this helps you find the cards that you need, or if you're an alter ego, just get a +1 hand size, which is excellent. I said that Miles liked to be flipping a lot, and that's really because of his alter ego abilities, his supports, and then he has 2 copies of a card called Double Life. So this is a 1-cost event. You're only allowed to use this 1 per round, but it says to change form, and then if you paid for it using a physical resource, you get to ready your identity. You get to do all the awesome alter ego stuff. You can flip up if you want. You can, shuffle the card into your deck, flip right back up. I mean, there's just so much versatility in here. If you want to stay in alter ego, you can flip up, you can roll right back down using Double Life. The flexibility that Miles has leads him to being a really good solo hero. One thing that I want to just kind of note before we hop into the ranking each aspect for Miles is that because you're flipping a lot with him, you really like to take advantage of the cards that activate on a flip of a form or whenever you change form. This would be like Moxie or Surprise Attack or any of those types of cards. You are able to use those fairly effectively in Miles's deck. Those cards can be kind of hard to play because if you start the turn in hero form, with most heroes, you cannot play them because you have to flip down to alter ego. However, if you somehow have the Double Life as well as one of these cards in your hand, you can flip twice and you can activate those. Really fun to include in his decks. Alrighty, so let's go through and rank each one of the aspects on how I liked them. So in 4th place, we had leadership. And so due to the access of all the stun that you have with Spider-Man, you can focus on getting the higher cost allies out there and don't really need to chump block with them. So because you're flipping, you have a high recovery, you have stun. Health really wasn't a huge issue with Miles, except for, a couple games that the game that I lost, but I always found that it was pretty easy to get his health right back up as long as the villain doesn't surprise attack you a couple times. With leadership, you're allowed to get you're able to get those high cost allies out there, which are, going to be your machine to churn through the villain. Because you want the higher cost allies, you're not chump blocking, team training makes it into this deck very easily just to boost that health up, to get an additional activation out of each one of the high cost allies, especially if you're running like Peter Parker. I mentioned in the Ghost Spider video, love Peter Parker, the new basic ally, because you get to ready a Web Warrior character you control. He's hard to get onto the table, and leadership he's not really, because you can make the call with Peter Parker, you can rapid response Peter Parker, you can keep him out there. Once you get him out, he's going to be out there for the entire game, making sure that you get a ready every single turn. Other than that, there aren't really too many exciting synergies with leadership, which is why it ranked in that 4th position. Coming in 2nd place, I had aggression. So this is actually the game that I lost. So I went 7 for 8. Again, I was playing on standard, and so I wasn't trying to lose all of these games, but I wanted to go with the perfect 8 for 8 record. I did lose aggression. I got attacked a couple of times. It was a fun video. But Spider-Man does love press the advantage because he has so much access to stun. You can press the advantage, 1 cost event, deal 2 damage, and it refreshes itself as a card. I mean, I ran 3 copies of that. I think any aggression Spider-Man deck that I run from here on out is going to have press the advantage in it. You got a really good rush strategy with aggression, Spider-Man. Really cool. Would have won on my next turn. 3rd place is aggression. In 2nd place, I have protection. So you have a lot of damage mitigation because you can give yourself tough with spider camouflage, which is his ability, as well as like you want to be flipping a lot, so you may be playing perseverance, so you can be giving yourself tough fairly frequently. And then also the other side of the damage mitigation is stunning the villain with cards like Tackle, Iron Fist, and then his special ability, which is Venom Blast. So you can pretty much sit the entire game without ever taking an attack, or whenever you take that attack, you have a tough to soak it up from the villain. This combo really helps make sure you can keep that health high, and I didn't run Fighting Fit. I think that it could be an interesting card to include in this type of deck, but I do like, being able to keep that high and then, finding ways to deal damage. One of the cool ways that I found to deal damage is with one of the new cards that came out in the Sinister Motives campaign box, which is Return the Favor. So this is a 0 cost event where you discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until you reveal a treachery, and then reveal that treachery, resolve it, which is not good typically, and then deal 5 damage to the villain. It's okay. I mean, it's a high risk, high reward card. However, if you pair it with a Get Behind Me, which is whenever you reveal a treachery card, cancel the effects of that, and then the villain attacks you. And if you're tough, or if the villain's stunned, it's a free 5 damage. So that was just so much fun. That was a really cool combination to use. If you combine that with the new Venom ally, then the Venom ally says that whenever you reveal a card, you deal damage equal to the boost icons on that card. So the combination here, you can really rush a lot of damage and protection, which is just it's just a really fun new archetype to play. My favorite aspect with the new Miles deck is Justice. So his precon came with a lot of new shield cards. So this is a new archetype for not necessarily just Justice. I think it works best in Justice as of today, but it is a lot of cards that play off of that trait. So like one of the new cards is Monica Chang, who is an ally, and it makes Surveillance seem a little bit more interesting. So it says when Monica Chang enters play, search your hand, discard pile, and deck for a copy of Surveillance Team and put it into play, and then add a Snoop counter to all of your Surveillance teams. So Surveillance Team was a card that I wasn't playing a lot because it's a 2-cost card for 3 threat removal, which is not great, but now you have a lot of cards that kind of work with some of the shield supports, like Agent 13 and Sky Destroyer. So Sky Destroyer says whenever you play a shield card, you can exhaust Sky Destroyer to deal 2 damage to an enemy. Agent 13 says that whenever you attack or thwart with Agent 13, you can ready a shield support. And so there's just a lot of synergy in this kind of deck. I think this archetype works pretty well with any hero that you kind of throw it into, but it works really well with heroes that have shield cards already in their kit, which Spider does with Jefferson Davis. And so you're able to kind of get a little bit extra benefit for these shield synergies that you have. To complement all of the awesome new interactions that these cards have, Spider-Man really likes Justice because he wants to be in that alter ego form, so you can confuse with camouflage, and then you have all the threat mitigation that Justice provides. And so you can be fairly confident rolling down to alter ego ability to activate all of his really great abilities. With that, Justice was my top tier for Spider-Man. I'm really excited to play more Shield, especially across different heroes. So we'll probably see a lot more of that archetype in these videos going forward. So that was Spider-Man Miles Morales. Really liked him. I think that power ranking on the heroes so far, he is going to be a B tier, and he's going to be right in between Gwen and Star-Lord. So he's going to be right there in the middle of the B tier of the heroes that we currently have ranked, and he's good. He's really good. I think he's a really good solo player because he has so much access to the stun and defend. But in the higher player counts, I think that can kind of roll off just a little bit. And he does have a lot of potential to be, a really strong rusher, a really strong mitigator. So he's able to flex fairly well into a lot of different strategies. I loved both of these heroes from the new Sinister Motives box. I am really excited to play through the campaign. So that should be starting here in maybe a couple weeks from the release of this video. Go check that out if you're interested in seeing me play through. I think I'm gonna run Gwyn, but we'll see. I'll probably make a last minute decision, honestly. But I am also really looking forward to all the new heroes, the new champions that have been announced, and I'm really looking forward to these videos for those. So have you gotten a chance to play Miles yet? If so, what's your favorite aspect? What was your favorite aspect to play with him and why? Let me know in the comments, because whenever I'm doing these videos, I typically have a lot of games under my belt with some of the older heroes. These newer ones, sometimes it takes me a couple of games to figure out. And like with Miles, with Gwyn, I was, learning things on the 3rd, 4th plays, and I'll be learning things on the 10th and 15th plays as well. So what was your favorite aspect? What do you like about Miles? Let me know. Also, I'm doing all of these videos for all of the heroes, so we got a ton of them and we're getting more. But when we don't have a brand new hero, I am kind of just going off of what the community is voting for. So if you want to vote, go ahead and find that link in the video description and vote for who I play next in these Hero Spotlight videos. Until next time, go beat up some Spider-Man villains in the Sinister Motives box. Let me know how it goes. See you around. Peace.